Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. This is Pete and this is going to be the final video on ADHD that I make so that I can wrap up the series finally. From this point on, we are going to be talking about you and your life, and we are not going to label any particular disorders because that is not my place. I am a coach, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, and honestly, this is the coaching way. We already presume that you are a great human being capable of big things. You don't have to assume that you are flawed in some way to help you. I don't believe that ADHD, as it is described, is attention deficit at all. And it is not attention regulation problem. Well, it is basically, but it is not a problem. Because, if you listen to someone like Dale Carnegie, Napoleon Hill, or someone who had a success-oriented mind, they will tell you that the secret to success is to stay focused on what really matters to you, in spite of what everyone else is telling you, and in spite of all the distractions around you. That is ADHD. ADHD is hyperfocus. It is not hyperfocus and it is just hyperfocus. You hyperfocus on the thing that matters most to you. And the problem comes from the fact that everyone around you tells you, well, that's weird. I can't focus like that. I have a split attention. You should have a split attention. Because when I was sitting in class in the university, people were looking out the window, they were looking at Facebook, they were chatting on their phones, or they were chatting in between themselves. There was a very small percentage of people that really paid attention. Those were the excellent students. But 90% of people were just doing something else. But when I asked them if they were paying attention, they said they were. Because normal people don't realize they are not paying attention because they don't know what full attention even looks like. You, as an ADHDer, are born without the ability, or with a lowered ability, to split your attention. That is your problem. But the thing is, it is not a problem at all. The only problem it represents is in this society that is always pushing you to split your attention somehow. That is distracting you with commercials, that is distracting you with new ways of life, of things that you should do different, blah, 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 blah. And in this world, it seems annoying. It seems annoying to be you. And it is not you who is flawed. It is the world who is flawed in this way. Of course, the world is not flawed, it's just us. It's just our society, the way that we constructed it towards distraction. You are not the one driven to distraction. It is everyone else who is driven to distraction. That is why they prosper in a world of distraction. It has been put on its head and completely inverted. So, yeah, that is what I believe. I hope that it makes some sense. So first let me tell you why I no longer will be talking about ADHD as a separate concept. It is because I believe that that is actually harmful. Now, you might say, well, that is ridiculous, that is completely ridiculous. Is it? Now, what is it useful for? To have a name for a set of symptoms that is searchable, that is, somehow compartmentalized. Well, you would say, well, because I can find many information on the internet, for example, on ADHD. Even your psychiatrist or your psychologist is going to tell you that that is not a good idea, because you are not supposed to be self-diagnosing yourself. Now, everyone has these disclaimers. This is not supposed to be used for a self-diagnosis. Does that matter? Does anyone care that there is this disclaimer? Everyone is using this for self-diagnosis. I know because I've done it as well. So what else is this useful for? Well, for the psychiatrists to talk about themselves. Sure, that is true, but why does it then leak to the public? Unfortunately, the society works in such a way that there will always be a large part of the population that will object to such elitist knowledge. So, if the psychiatrists can know that, why can't we know that? The knowledge belongs to the people. unfortunately, when it belongs to the people, it leads to self-diagnosis, which is the number one thing that you are not supposed to do. Because if you do that, then the psychiatrist's job is basically done. You will come into the office with the idea that you have something. You will already be there because you suspect that you have ADHD. And it will take a special kind of doctor to tell you, no, you don't. It happens. It happens quite a lot here in Europe, but it doesn't happen at all in other parts of the world, or very rarely. Now, even here, the thing is that, for example, I was so desperate to be diagnosed ADHD that I would go doctor to doctor until I found one that would diagnose me with ADHD. And you know what language I would use? What language I used to describe this? Well, I use the language of, oh no, every doctor here in Europe is terrible because they don't want to diagnose me with what I really have. Like, can you see how deep this goes? How deep the self-diagnosis can go? And then there is even the self-medication. Oh no, my doctor is so stupid. He won't give me Adderall. He won't give me Ritalin. He won't give me this and that and this. I need to find another doctor. Can you see that you are doing this yourself? It is all self-diagnosed. So this is the problem I see with ADHD being a thing that is searchable on the internet. Because you don't want to have it. You want to be normal. You want to be happy. You want to be productive. And you go to your doctor to help you do that. You don't go to your doctor to tell you, you have ADHD and now you will suffer and maybe this medication will, quench it a little bit, but the chances are not so good. That's not what you want. But if you take this very seriously, as I did, you will find that you immediately aim to the most effective treatments. And now if you go to drugs.com or whatever the site is, where they keep all the reviews of drugs, you know what you will find? You will find that the best treatment, according to reviews, for ADHD is, drumroll please, methamphetamine. No, not methylphenidate. No, not amphetamine. Methamphetamine is the best reviewed drug for ADHD. And the reviews are all about, I don't understand why this is not in the hands of the public. It is making me feel so good. Why are people stuck only on Adderall? I was suffering on Adderall. I was not feeling good enough. Now on methamphetamine, I finally feel good. Now, can you see a problem with that? Can you see that this direction towards stronger and stronger drugs? And that if your doctor tells you that you don't need a stronger drug, you already believe you need a stronger drug because you read on the internet that the stronger drug is better and that you will feel better. So you can't help but want the stronger one. Sure, you can negotiate with yourself and with your doctor that this drug is good enough, that you have found the magical arbitrary number of pills that you need to take. And if you did that, I honestly wish you the best of luck with it. I would hate to be right. I would hate to be right. I really don't wish this on you at all. But I'm afraid that this will bite you in the arse in the long run. And that there is no escaping that. It will bite you in the arse when you forget to take the pill. It will bite you in the arse when you think, this is so annoying, I have to take the pills. It will bite you in the arse when your doctor moves from town to town. There is so many things. It will bite you in the arse when the medication stops working over time, because that's just what happens. The nature of this kind of medication, of the really powerful medication, like methamphetamine or amphetamines or methylphenidate, is that you build resistance to it over time. So you will have to make little stops after a while so that it can start working again. So do you see what is happening? I don't want to say anything in particular because I believe this is quite self-obvious. It will bite you in the arse. It is definitely not the optimal solution. And if it is good enough for you, I hope that it stays that way forever. I really do. And I won't add anything else. Now, if you don't want to go that route, do some introspection to look deeper into yourself, try to reawaken your passions, and realize that you are not as flawed as you believe. In fact, you may not be as flawed at all compared to other people. You might realize that we are really all the same. We are all flawed beings, of course, but we are all in the same boat. And your differences in preference, that you want to focus on some other things, are inconsequential. In any case, this has been Pete. You will see me in the next video, and just good luck. Good luck on your path, no matter what it is. If you want to do the pills route, do that. I am absolute. Like, if you want, you have to do it. At that point, you have to do it, because otherwise there will be this splinter in your mind telling you, "Well, what if I tried medication?" So just do it. Just do it and get it over with, or maybe find your lasting success there. I really wish you do. So have a nice day and see you around.